Hello and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in tonight to News Talk with yours truly, Chris Anu, coming to you as usual from the great state of Texas, precisely Houston, Texas. I'd like to welcome all of you joining from Africa by way of satellite television and in the diaspora by way of the social media, that is Facebook and YouTube. Please, if you are joining by way of Facebook, do me the favor by hitting the share button and let everybody out there know we are live at this moment. And if you are joining by way of YouTube, also do me the favor, hit the subscribe button and the like button, and also send out the link for others to join. Let them know we are live. We are live. Tensions is another statement of what is happening in La République du Cameroon as I speak. Paul Biya sworn in this morning in Cameroon, and the population is waiting patiently to hear what comes out of Issa Chiroma. A few minutes ago, less than 20 minutes ago, I spoke to Issa Chiroma personally, not through channeling, but I spoke to Issa Chiroma a few minutes ago personally, and I will be bringing you the message of what they are thinking. But in the moment, I will take a brief minute back, and when I come back, I will delve directly into the stories. In the meantime, please go ahead, hit your share button again, and let everybody know we are live at this moment.
ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level. Contact our advertising team at absafricativ@gmail.com. ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level. Contact our advertising team at absafricativ@gmail.com.
Bon, nous on n'a pas le temps des élections. C'est comme ça. Ce que vous faites là, ça ne nous concerne pas. On n'a pas le temps des élections. Nous on est là pour libérer notre famille. Les enfants doivent aller à l'école. Les mamans doivent vendre les choses. C'est comme ça. Bon, nous on n'a pas le temps des élections. C'est comme ça. Ce que vous faites là, ça ne nous concerne pas. On n'a pas le temps des élections. Nous on est là pour libérer notre famille. Les enfants doivent aller à l'école. Les mamans doivent vendre les choses. C'est comme ça.
Asawana! Voilà! Asawana! Voilà! Asaguam! Esimene! Today, the 5th November 2025. Now they walk this way. FM Mad Dog with the Meadow General Viper. They don't do them for Bamenda. Where the mission be built by General Smart of the Third Air Force. So what we will talk for the Republic now say how they don't decide for the come the game. Was also the collect them. Was also the collect them. Shake no day till we reach Biya.
You know.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are looking out there at an attack that took place yesterday, an ambush by the Amazonia Restoration fighters in the Mazam County, precisely in the locality, the community of Bambili. We learned four Cameroon soldiers were ambushed, chased away. Some were killed. I think that we are told four of them were killed, and their arms confiscated, as you can find in that image there. Coming
D'accord.
from
Ce qu'on a à vous dire, c'est que
fighters.
ça, c'est tout notre matériel.
Again, that took place yesterday in Bambili. Now, I also take you to what took place in Yaoundé today, ladies and gentlemen. The installation of Paul Biya to the eighth term of office. That will be the subject of my monologue for tonight. But for the meantime, I will take you to what happened in Bambili, and we get some details before we revert back to what is happening in Yaoundé today. And again, many people are wondering what is happening with Issa Chiruma's camp. We're going to be coming to that. We're going to be coming to that really, really soon. So, joining me from somewhere in Africa, I wouldn't really like to disclose his location unless he does so by himself. Let's get the details of what happened yesterday in Bambili, where Amazonia Restoration fighters brought down four Cameroon soldiers, confiscating their guns. So I'm being joined by comrade. I'll allow you to do justice for yourself by letting the people know who you are, so you do it right.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you 5 on 5.
Oh, thank you. This is Shea Tata, and as you know, I am also posting for the Scandi Media, and I'm glad that I am live today to share with you what really actually took place in Bambili in Tuba subdivision, and to an extension, maybe also what happened in my subdivision in Ndonga Mantu division. Yes, the same yesterday.
Awesome. Hold on there. Let's lay the background here. We understand that the action that we have seen on our screen was carried out by Bui Unity Warriors. Now, it happening in the Bambili, that's a long distance from where they have always fought. That is in Bui County. How did they get to Bambili? Are they expanding? Are the Bui warriors expanding into all of the northern zone and starting with Mezam, or what?
Thank you for that question again, Comrade Chris. Asking if we are expanding, I think it's no news that we've been fighting in four counties so far. And this was not the first battle in Mezam County. We've been fighting in Ndonga Mantung, which is up north neighbor. And then we've been fighting also at the middle, which is Ngoketunja. And from Ngoketunja, then we moved to Mezam. And last year we had two battles in Mezam, which we saw them live. I think we also came and expressed our satisfaction, and the battle was shown here as the Bui warriors showed their might. And this year they didn't go because during the second trip they had a very negative effect. It was not as successful as they wanted, where we lost some of our men in the second trip to Mezam, and that gave the warriors kind of some low spirit. But the issue that what happened actually in Tuba in Bambili was something that even the drivers flying that road, the Bamenda Oketundia road, they will tell you that our people have seen hell in that hill. Actually, it's the
Right.
hill that is descending from Sabga
Right.
down to Bambili. Yeah. And also, it's linking, Bambili is where we have our university. And you
Right.
know how our girls are always victims of these military men. And they have really given our people tough times there. The warriors, as you rightly said, Bamenda to Kumbu or Kumbu to Bamenda will take you about 2 to 3 hours by car, passing through Ngogetundia County, the whole of Ngogetundia County. And this time, our warriors, they did a very good survey and they had communication with the unity warriors of Mizam. It's not like they came unannounced. And the reason why this collaboration was made was simply because Mizam is already saturated with lots of black legs, that each time the warriors had to come to perform an action day, it was always leaked. So they needed a neutral force to come unexpected to carry this action. So I spoke with the Major General, Major General Viper, who led this force with the Field Marshal for the Northern Zone, Mad Dog. And we are told that it took them 3 weeks of planning for such a successful battle yesterday, as we saw it.
So, I mean, within Bambili and Bui, you have Ngo Ketrinjia. Couldn't they have instructed the boys in the Ngo Ketrinjia to do this, or they are not yet in agreement?
Yeah, that is correct. The person you collaborate well is the person you probably may likely like to work with.
Right.
And I know this is something we also might not reveal on TV, but one of the reasons is also which we have to know and admit is that this action would have taken place long time, but for the long lockdown that we had, and you know what that means, that material-wise and many other things were not put in place on time, and that is why the mission was taking place just yesterday. It's a mission that should have taken place long time ago. So the collaboration between Mizam and Bui, we have very close collaboration with Ndonga, and we work with India, and we work all the time and very closely with them. But by extension, we wanted to maintain the collaboration and the relationship that we had last year with them, which, like I said, the second trip was not all that successful. And we wanted to maintain that relationship and show that we are still under control. So Bui is not only going there, but it's a sign that we want to show that the Amazonian restoration forces can fight anywhere and can collaborate with any forces.
Right. Now, what was the number of casualties? Where I learned of 4. I've seen images of 2 who were casualties, and I think we got some of those images here. Sorry, I think we're not hearing you. Just take that again. We didn't hear you.
Did you hear? Are you getting me now?
I can hear
Hello?
you now. I can hear you now.
Okay, good. Good. I'm saying that about 4 were neutralized on the spot.
4.
And yes, we are neutralized on the spot, and I have their names here. There is one called Hassana Zake. There's one called Manju Jean Patrice. There is one called Esama Abondo Jr. And the 4th one was Kenchu Brims. I think the last one we can guess from the name that he is a Bamileke, while the other ones are the other parts of La Republique. And surprisingly, yesterday the warriors that carried the action were smiling, and they really had longed to see one of them involved. That's one of an Amazonian involved in the casualty, but it looks like Amazonians were lucky that they were not among those that were neutralized. But we are told that at least 6 were injured with 3 life-threatening injuries.
Okay, we some of the news we are hearing as coming from the ground is to the effect that Cameroon has withdrawn a considerable number of its soldiers, taking them up north and other parts of their territory in the backdrop of the contested elections. Is that what you are hearing from the fighters on the ground?
Not even, we don't even need to hear from the fighters. Even Amazonians living in that territory will know that this is just pure propaganda. I mean, Amazonia is the country that feeds Cameroon, and
Right.
withdrawing their troops to La Republique will give room for Amazonia to get total control of their territory. So they will still need these resources in order to survive in their own country. So the troops that were moved, some of them were moved from Douala and Bafoussam and Yaoundé and sent to the north. On the contrary, in Bui, as we speak, we received more troops as they were coming, and we even have information that more will still be coming in the days ahead. So there was nothing. What they do is they do a tactical replacement. They take troops out and they bring new ones. So once people see them leaving, they think that they are withdrawing them to the north, but
Yeah.
usually they replace them immediately they go.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Now, tell me, I know because I know you have a good handle on the movement of Amazonian fighters on the ground. What is happening in Mezam? Are there emerging new fighters in the Bafut area, as I am learning?
Uh, like I said, part of the issues that we have, which lockdown was one of them, as I already mentioned, and some of the reasons had been part of funding, and some of our fighters have had some challenges, and that is why they retreated. And we are told that Bafut, the Southern Qatar, have recruited some new boys as well. And then we also had some challenges where some of our fighters were being infiltrated, where 1 or 2 probably may deceive some of their colleagues in the name of joining DDR, and they will stage some public manifestations as people resigning from the forces. When this happened, the Mezam, especially the Mezam Unity Warriors, they had to retreat, recollect, and make sure that they screen their forces, because it's very likely that La Republique is paying some of them in order to use some of those bad seeds, those that are compromised, to eliminate some of the strong fighters. So that's what is happening at the moment. It's not that the warriors are completely tired. No, they have retreated in order to re-strategize.
What is going on in the minds of the fighters in Amazonia, considering the turmoil that is going on in La Republique du Cameroon? This is a moment that every Amazonian, not just the fighters, long expected to come to pass in La Republique du Cameroon. What are you hearing from the fighters? What are they saying?
I think not only from the position of the fighters, but also the population. I think, in as much as what is happening in La Republique, the regime change has nothing to do with us, but positively it has an impact. And everyone, whether fighter or civilian, are hoping for that regime change because of the promises, as I put in quotes, of Issa Chiroma, who promised, first of all, everyone wants our prisoners to be released. I personally, that's also my first priority. I want to see all Amazonians in jail free and moving freely, join their families, especially. during this Christmas, as a senior journalist Eric G will always say. And the fighters, despite that, they are not concentrating on what is happening in La Republic. They are wishing for a regime change and wish that someone should come in. So a new person should be brought into La Republic that can call for dialogue, come to the negotiating table. But that is not affecting their work, and that is why you have had at least 4 battles, even from the Bui Unity Warriors, during this election period. So that it has nothing to do with them. All that we want is a free and fair Amazonia.
I see lots of support on the ground, even in Amazonia, for Issa Chiroma. How do the fighters look at Issa Chiroma, especially in view of the promises he is making to, number one, free Amazonian prisoners at his inception, and call for a referendum? What are the fighters thinking about this?
The fighters are also looking positive to it, to see that the prisoners are freed. But let me tell you, Comrade Chris, the fighters during the elections, despite the fact that, the whole of Amazonia was shut down. And on that day of the elections, there were about 4 different battles where no voting could not take place. But in as much as that took place, there is this town in Bui, which is called Tobin, which is the administrative headquarters, where we believe that the military and some CPDM elites assemble to try to manipulate these votes. The fighters, from what I got, was that irrespective of the fact that voting didn't take place and the votes were rigged, any CPDM elite who even dare to go out to vote shall face the consequences. But on the other hand, and to answer your question about how they are looking forward to this, I think the fighters have always stood with the prisoners, what we call prisoners of conscience, and that is why they have always maintained and helped to implement the lockdown on Monday, which is kind of the ghost town, which is a kind of solidarity for our prisoners, to show that we are still with them and we have not abandoned them. And sometimes you see they fight. When they fight, sometimes they even shout. You will hear them at the height of their voice, stating very clearly that they are doing this for the freedom of our prisoners. They are doing this for the freedom of our land. So the fighters are also looking forward, like I said, with other civilians. No one, I don't think there is anyone, even though we say it doesn't concern us, but deep inside us, everyone wants to see that regime change in Yaoundé.
Right, that's a good point. Talking about that, many people out there, you say, oh, we're talking so much about elections in La République du Cameroon. How does that concern us? I don't know whether you hear from people on the ground the wisdom behind which we do what we do, because our perspective here is that everything politically that goes on in La République du Cameroon has a bearing on what becomes of our quest for freedom. Is that what you are hearing from people on the ground too?
I think these questions are coming from the diaspora. When you hear people ask that, you will never hear someone call from ground zero, except they just want to toe the line to tell you that doesn't concern. People want an end to this war. People are suffering. And this is a window that we cannot miss. And that is why sometimes you will hear, even when you call your family members and you are talking to them, or you meet someone, the first question they ask you, what do you think about what is happening in La République? So let no one deceive you that it doesn't concern us. It concerns us. And first of all, we are waiting to see them come and talk to us, because sometimes people think that when you talk to your enemy, you are a traitor. No, if you want peace, you must talk to your enemy, not to your. So if we don't talk to them, if we don't find a solution with them, then we are going nowhere. Then there is no need fighting. So everyone, trust me, in Amazonia, even in Nigeria, the refugees, everyone is looking forward to that. And that is why you see inside Chiroma, even today, if you were to hold elections today, even those votes that La Republique rigged in those areas, those people who stole votes for for Biya, they will vote for Chiroma now because they have seen that the whole country needs change.
Right. They talked about Isa Chiroma swearing in himself. What is the perception of that on the ground?
The perception on the ground is that people would have loved to see that happen before what took place at midday today. People thought that by Isa Chiroma being sworn in before Biya, that was going to give room for them to jubilate, and maybe that could disrupt that of President Biya. But it didn't happen. And I can tell you that the anxiety is still there. People have, if you go even on social media, people are looking at all the sites, all the WhatsApp groups, all the pages where if they can get just a single picture of Isa Chiroma raising a hand and being sworn at any corner. So the anxiety is much, as I can tell you. Everyone is looking forward to that because that's the change they are looking for. That's the only one who has dared the so far to this level.
In fact, I heard somebody saying on the social media, Biya has finally made his match.
I think he made his match, and a super match as such that we can say, because even when you looked at what happened, look at the conditions where the senior military officers were not allowed to come into the hall with guns. You know what that means?
Right.
You know, that means there was panic, and you could see even what transpired today. I know you will be talking about it, and since maybe I'm not going to be among the panelists, I want
No,
to
you are going to be among the panel. Just you will be in the panel. Go on. Go on.
Okay. You could see what was happening. A replay of what happened in US last time, where Biya was asked to present a speech, and he was asking, where am I? Am I the one to speak? It happened today, if you could see.
You speak as if you read my monologue. You say it as if you read my monologue. That is exactly the point I have here in my monologue.
Yeah, let's leave it there, and I'm coming. Let's leave it there, and so we don't spill the cat out of the bag. So.
All right. Sheikh Tata, please stay put in there. I will get back to you. Okay, go on. You want to say something?
Before you go, just one thing. I think we will be doing unfairness to the Ndonga and Mantung County by reporting only the work of the Unity Warriors without citing that of the Ndonga Mantung Unity Warriors.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I think you will see some footages that I sent to you also later. I'm sorry that I sent that late, but yesterday in Mwa subdivision Mwa is one of the LGS in Ndonga Mantung. The Unity Warriors also attacked the military base there, where we are told the same number of casualties took place. About 4 La Republique military were killed yesterday, and I got confirmation that those that were injured were ferried through Sabongari into a La Republique town called Sonkolo in the Adamawa region, where they are receiving treatment. And that one of the brigade commanders that was shot and was running away is still not yet to be found, and that maybe he has died in the bush or somewhere. And that an helicopter also landed in Sonkolo yesterday to evacuate some of those injured. So I would just want to say congratulations also to the Unity Warriors of Ndonga Mantung for the job well done. And we are following very closely in case of any updates about the brigade commander of Mwa. We will not hesitate to share.
Absolutely. I think those boys are doing an incredible job, especially when you consider the circumstances they find themselves now. Listen, you stay put in there, stay put out there. I will be back with you. Let me get to the subject of the day, the swearing in of Paul Biya and the whereabout or what actually Isa Chiroma is doing out there. So please, share Tata, stay put out there, please. Ladies and gentlemen, I will take a 50 seconds break out, and when I come back, I will delve right into the subject of Isa Chiroma's swearing in and what happened, the theater that took place in Yaoundé today. Please stay put.
It's like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level. Contact our advertising team at absafricativ@gmail.com. ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level. Contact our advertising team at absafricativ@gmail.com. ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level. Contact our advertising team at absafricativ@gmail.com.
All right. Thanks for staying put out there, ladies and gentlemen. We know there is tension out there. People are patiently waiting to hear from Isa Chiroma as far as his swearing in is concerned. You will recall yesterday we reported that Isa Chiroma, who has been out of the country for quite a number of days, picked up by Nigerian security, is finally back into Cameroon as of yesterday. And many were thinking that perhaps this morning before Biya's inauguration or swearing in, he too, Isa Chiroma, would be sworn in. Apparently that hasn't happened yet. But I'm glad to report that I spoke to Isa Chiroma directly. That's about 40 minutes ago or so. Before coming to you live, I spoke with Isa Chiroma. And I told him exactly the message that you would love him to hear. I told him that there is anticipation out here. People want to hear that he is sworn in. In fact, people are not waiting for any other news other than that Isa Chiroma is sworn in. First, I asked him about his security, and he made it very clear where he is. He is very secure and he is very safe. I told him the pressure out here, the expectations out here about his being sworn in. And he said, as it is, they are working on the logistics of everything that they have to do. But he made it very clear he is not giving up. Biya has actually made his march. He wants Cameroonians to know. That is the message that he transmitted to me about 40 minutes ago. Again, I spoke with him directly, not through somebody. And that is a message that he would want everybody out there to know and be patient. And he keeps on telling Cameroonians, be steadfast and ready to continue to defend the victory of your ballot box on October 12, 2025. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I speak, they are in meetings, discussing what the next action, what the next step should be. I won't be surprised. Now, do not take my word for it. It's just an opinion. I won't be surprised if by tomorrow morning or the next day, Issa Chiroma is sworn in as president of La République du Cameroon. All they are doing now, going by what he said to me, again, 40 minutes ago, is that they are working on the logistics of everything, because that makes a lot of sense. If he must be sworn in as president, he cannot be sworn in and then turn around and be asking, what next? What do we do next? What should I say next? Where do I go next? They must have figured out what the next steps should be before swearing him in. I want to believe that when he talks of the logistics of everything, this is what he is referring to. So that is what the picture looks like at the moment. Ladies and gentlemen, I am hoping to get some updates, and may actually do so in the course of this broadcast. If I get a call that I am expecting, I will bring you updates as to what they come out with from the meeting they are having at this moment. So that is that. We will come back to this subject with my panel. We will discuss it, talk about the pressure that is on the ground, the anticipation, the perception that is on the ground, and what it means for Issa Chiroma not to be sworn in. That is, just in case that happens. What would Cameroonians do? I will come to that later in the show. But for the moment, I will be taking you to my monologue for the day. That has to do with the inauguration of Paul Biya, ladies and gentlemen, as President of La République du Cameroon. That happened today. It happened today, and I will be bringing you my monologue, my talking point on that subject. Please stay put. The moment I come back, I will be bringing you again the main talking point of the day. Don't touch your remote. Going to be right back.
ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level. Contact our advertising team at absafricatv@gmail.com. ABS can help you reach your target.
I think we're going to allow President Poba to take his seat. He has had to appreciate it. It's very beautiful, just like we were saying here a while ago.
Parole à présent au président de l'Assemblée nationale.
The Speaker of the National Assembly.
Et c'est un peu comme si le temps s'était arrêté. Ça participe du
La
rituel.
séance est reprise. Excellence, Monsieur le Président de la République élu, distingués invités, Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs, je vous prie de bien vouloir vous lever pour l'exécution de l'hymne national.
The national anthem will be sung right now.
Corps au prestigieux poste de président de la République du Cameroun, au nom du peuple camerounais, ici représenté par les députés élus de la nation, au nom de tous les parlementaires, au nom de tous les invités ici présents, et en mon nom propre, je voudrais, Excellence, Monsieur le Président, vous adresser nos différentes sincères et chaleureuses félicitations. Votre réélection est de façon incontestable la reconnaissance de vos compatriotes à l'endroit du grand patriote que vous êtes. En effet,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to spare you the pain of looking or listening to those old people who have nothing, zero to offer the people of Cameroon other than sit there, loot and plot against the people who actually own that country. But I'd like to bring you my monologue at this moment on what took place in Cameroon today. As you listen to my comrade there, Tata Servazam, what happened? Yaoundé witnessed a repeat of what took place in Washington, D.C. I think that was 2021 when the African heads of states were invited for the U.S. African Summit. You all know what I'm talking about. There was a repeat of that in Yaoundé today. And here comes the monologue. I want you to picture first the scene in Washington, D.C. at the U.S. Africa Leaders Summit. There he sat, Paul Biya, President of Cameroon, flown across oceans, seated among the highest dignitaries of Africa and the world. You can almost see it, the grandeur of the hall, the international press corps, the flags of nations fluttering, the red carpet welcome, the smiling protocol officers guiding each head of state into their proper place. Among that assembly, Biya sat, perhaps physically present, yet by all means or indications mentally absent, unaware. Now fast forward to today in Yaoundé. The capital's Grand Assembly Hall is full. Diplomats from foreign embassies sitting in neat rows. International observers at the edge of the room. CRTV crews monopolizing their camera angles and live beaming the event to the rest of the world. The judges of the judiciary are present, the Constitutional Council too, and of course the Supreme Court. Parliamentarians, senators, that's what I call them. They were all there in their regalia, ready to witness a constitutional ritual. The legal process is observed, the ceremony proceeding with the solemnity of law. And then comes the moment. The judge invites Paul Biya to rise, to stand to take the oath that underpins his so-called renewed mandate. People hold their breath. The judge calls, please rise, rise. But Biya does not rise. His microphone is open. The silence of the room deepens. An aide leans forward to him, murmuring urgently into his ear. Obvious confusion. Biya asks the aide, what is going on? What is going on? The aide mumbles insistently and visibly scrambling for the president's understanding. He says, the judge wants you to stand. The judge wants you to stand. And finally, Biya rises. Then comes the next instruction and the next scene. Raise your right hand, the judge commands, but nothing. Biya stands there, uncomprehending. The aide literally raises the president's hand for him. The cameras of the state broadcast CRTV do what they always do the best. They quickly cut away from the awkward sequence, replacing live footage with tighter shots of the judges and the crowds, the diplomats and the flags. But the audio, the whispering and echoing instructions is still on the recording. The world watching sees and hears the breakdown of the ritual, a mess of the ritual. But what does this mean? What does it mean? What does this scene tell us? It screams loudly that Paul Biya is no longer the one running that country. If he cannot even follow the stage directions of his own inauguration, how can he possibly be the architect of election fraud and election rigging, the architect of arrest and imprisonment of his own citizens, the captain of an economic crisis, the pilot of a nation in turmoil? How can he be? How can a man who sat bewildered in Washington, D.C. among world leaders, unable to muster the presence of mind to know where he was 4 years later, suddenly become the mastermind of every act of governance, of repression, of crisis management and authority in his own country? How is that possible? And yet, the narrative persists. Paul Biya orders, Biya commands, Biya is responsible, they tell us. Really? For those in the diaspora and the sidewalks of Yaoundé, such theater is not mere embarrassment. It goes to the heart of legitimacy, Paul Biya's legitimacy. When the chief protagonist in the ritual of power cannot even perform his cues, the audience, the people turn skeptical. They watch and they think, if this man is not in control of his own body, in his own inauguration, how can he reign with clarity, with purpose and with vision? The optical illusion of power crumbles. The signature on the ballot papers, the parade of uniforms, the pledges all become hollow if the man at the center is effectively sluggish. The delay, the confusion, the aide raising his hand, it is theater. Yes, it is. But it is theater of an empty throne. Cameroonians must not forget, the election itself was contested. Official results said Biya won 53.6% of the vote. Opponents cried foul. They declared the process a constitutional coup d'etat. For many ordinary Cameroonians, this ceremony today underlined their suspicions. If the man is so detached from the proceeding of his own swearing in, is he the one who directed the campaign, the rigging, the fraud and shape policy, issue orders to security forces, manage the economy? Or is he now simply a figurehead, a waxwork, while the real decisions are made elsewhere by others behind the curtain? Ask this question. Who is ordering when the president asks what is going on? Who is managing when the inauguration requires an aide to lift the president's arm? Who directs when the man himself is on mute in the proceedings? Then asks, can a government built on the illusion of one man's command stand when that man cannot marshal even the simplest constitutional moment? Is that possible? How does the chain of command hold up when the center is hollow? If not Biya, then who? That person must be somewhere. The spectacle today in Yaoundé is telling. The hall may be full of diplomats and international observers. The cameras may frame the pomp, the gaiety, but the substance is missing. The ritual fulfills a legal requirement, yes, but the real moment, the president taking the oath with clarity, authority, didn't happen. And when the real moment fails, what remains is legitimacy in question. What we glean from here is that the theater of power does not equal power. The crowd, the uniforms, the chants, the official pronouncements, they are smokes and mirrors. And when behind the mirror the actor cannot act, the mirror cracks. The mirror cracks. For the Cameroonian people listening to the sound of my voice, for the world watching too, today's performance was not simply awkward, it was revealing. It revealed a man disconnected, a regime brittled, an authority no longer embodied in flesh and blood as it once was before. It revealed that the real strings are pulled from elsewhere, by younger functionaries, by power blocks behind the scenes, by agents who have long been the engine of decisions now attributed to a dying Paul Biya, an ignorant Paul Biya. And now that Issa Chiroma Bakare is poised to take the reins of the opposition and potentially the government, the moment has come. He must expose the mask once he gets in charge. Who are the people behind this facade of one ruler? Who are the men and women whose fingerprints are on the prison walls, the road potholes in that country, the empty clinics, the unanswered pleas of the youth? For when the face in front is visibly absent, the hands behind the curtain must be revealed. Today's theater is why many Cameroonians do not believe Biya won the election. They see his inauguration not as a validation, but as a symbolic surrender of command. How can you take seriously the proclamation of victory when the face at the podium cannot uphold his own arm? When the highest moment of the highest office is executed by proxy, because that is what happened. That gap between ceremony and substance, between the man and the machination, is the crack. It is the crack in the regime's legitimacy. So I leave you with this, ladies and gentlemen, you watching, listening, and wondering. If Biya is not the captain, is he the passenger? If he cannot enact the oath, who is the one holding the steering wheel? If the man cannot tell an aide what is going on, who in the corridors whispers, "Go"? Who did to him? The real power lies not in the office, but in the unseen presence behind the spectacle. And until that truth is faced, No amount of official trumpeting will restore the authority of the one who sat unmoved today, in his own inauguration. And that is my talking point, ladies and gentlemen. And now, I'd like you to listen to the video. Of course, CRTV cut off. Not really cut off, move the camera. Focus the camera at a different direction. Why Paul Biya's aide was trying to whisper to him, telling him, you need to stand. The judge wants you to stand. And Biya was like, what is going on here? What is happening here? Can you imagine that? He is at his own inauguration and the judge says, it is time for you to stand to take the oath. And the guy was sitting there like a dummy. And the aide runs up to him and says, the judge wants you to stand. And Biya says, he looks around like, what is going on here? What is happening here? Now, finally they got him up. And the judge says, Mr. President, raise up your right hand or your left hand, whichever. And he still would not until the aide literally lifted Paul Biya's own hand to take his own oath. And they want you and I to believe that is the man that runs Cameroon. They want you and me to believe that is the man who orchestrated the election fraud and the rigging. Of course, Biya knows nothing that is going on around him. He doesn't know his surroundings at all. As at his own inauguration, you won't be hearing him asking, what is going on here? What is going on here? I'd like you to listen to that footage. Again, CRTV cut off that particular scene. The picture of Biya's aide moving up to him and telling him to stand up. Unfortunately, they cut off the video part of it, but the audio, we have tried to amplify the audio so you guys can hear exactly what went on there. Listen, please.
Voici venu le moment tant attendu, le moment de votre serment. Monsieur le Président de la République élu, vous engagez-vous
the voice of Biya's aide talking to him in the back is quite low. We tried to raise it, but not better than what you can hear. I will play that again so you listen to it. After you hear the judge saying to Biya, levez-vous, stand up, then be attentive right there to listen to the voice of the aide muttering something to Biya, asking him, the judge is telling you to stand up, and Biya mumbles, what is happening here? What is going on here? Listen, please.
Engagez-vous.
All right. I hope you were able to hear that. Again, CRTV, you can see the shot wide, very wide, not being very careful to show Biya being asked to stand up by his own aide at his own inauguration. All right, let me get back to my panel here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm being joined. Where are they? Are they here? Where are they? Where is the panel? Okay, I think I can see them. All right, I'm being joined, ladies and gentlemen, from Europe by Metro Nikon. A pleasure to have you, sir.
Thank you very much, Comrade Chris, for having me once again here. And I'm glad to sing my able brother Shade Sevetzam. So I'm very, very happy to hear him give good information coming back from Ground Zero. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me start with you. You probably you listened to my monologue, and if you have not heard it yet, you listen to what transpired in the Yaoundé. For a man who is not able to understand what is going on at his own inauguration, how can anybody try to convince others that Paul Biya is in charge of Cameroon? Is the president of Cameroon?
Thank you very much, Comrade Chris. Once again, look, I watched through the entire swearing-in ceremony. I where I felt pity was for Southern Cameroonian in that hall, people of Southern Cameroon origin who are around Paul Biya's regime, the so-called elite, and I wasn't expecting anything surprise because taking into account that Biya is almost 93 years, any surprises were not going to be surprise anymore. And CRTV have this expert that they have trained them in diverting the attention of anything that could capture some surprising images or shocking or disgraceful to the entire world. So it wasn't anything surprise to me, but I felt very bad. I developed headache. I took think 2,000 milligram paracetamol from just headache after seeing those who claim that they are elites from the southern Cameroon in the Biya region. These are the people killing our people. These are the people that I think there should be a strategy to go after them individually because they are the one giving the regime the right to keep killing our people. So it
Now,
wasn't anything surprising to
hold
me.
on there, comrade. Let me clarify this. What you are looking at there, you are looking at the presidency in Itude. That was after the swearing-in ceremony. You can find the American ambassador there, and the dignitaries all line up at the presidency in Itude for the inaugural ceremony. I want to bring perspective to the images people are watching there. Go on, please.
Yeah. Look, all these diplomats, all these dignitaries, look, they are just out there for their interests, Comrade Chris. Okay, if you read through the letter signed by the Congress in regard this Bia's re-election and fraudulent activities, what he has been doing in that country, this diplomat don't deserve to be there. I'm shocked to see even the American ambassador there, whereas his Congress is giving a very, very bitter report against the Biya regime. So to me, it wasn't anything surprise, but we are also feel disappointed with the Chiromaniac, as I call it Chiromaniac. I think Chiroma knew that this was going to happen. I'm disappointed with Mr. Chiroma because he could have taken the advantage, get himself sworn in prior to today, or even earlier today, since if he wants to take it from the date of the mandate or the expiration of his Bia's mandate, he could have sworn in himself earliest today and released out the video. Now he instead called a boycott or ghost towns prior to the ceremony or the inauguration, and on the day of the inauguration itself, people were free to roaming around. He could have instead called the ghost town on the day we are supposed to be sworn in. Let them be dead towns, dead cities, and that will send a very powerful signal outside. Instead, Chiroma did the opposite. He opened the door on the day of the dancing Janji in Yaoundé. So how is that saving him? Until today, one other thing is a Comrade Chris. I think our people should not count so much on Chiroma. Please, let's not develop some extra high blood as a result of Chiroma's promise to talk with the Southern Cameroon ambassador and release our prisoners. Look, we only have to redouble our effort in everything we've been doing. Yes, there is some relative kind of calmness in our cities right now. We only need to reinforce ourselves, strategize, and be ready for the bigger battle. Whether it be if you listen to what Biya was saying today, he's still describing Southern Cameroonian liberation fighters as terrorists. How can you be describing people that you've been unable to beat them for 9 years, 9 good years? And there I doff my cap to all the liberation fighters, our fellow citizens who have gone through through tremendous sacrifices, all the challenges that they have gone through. We thank you very much, our fellow citizens, for all the challenges, all the endurance, all the suffering. But it is not in vain because we are getting there and we will get there. There's nothing that will stop us. We are already there. Let them put Paul Biya in power for another. We don't care whether he lives forever. But the only thing is, let's not count so much on Chiroma because we keep counting so much on Chiroma and Chiroma doesn't deliver. Then we will now be slacking down, demobilized. Our spirit will be killed down. So we don't want that to be happen to our people and our fighters. So let's keep mobilizing our people, sensitizing them, supporting them, encouraging them, and then be more ready to even take a more aggressive fight ahead. This is what I can say for now.
Let me turn to Mike Fusi, who has joined us to get, I don't know if whether you listened to my monologue, and I would like to get his take on what transpired in the Yaoundé today at the swearing in of Paul Biya. When we get back to the Chiroma factor, Metro come. So let's hold on to that. We are going to get onto that. Mike Fusi, good to have you.
Good afternoon, Comrade Chris. I hope my network is better today. Yes, as you already asked, it was painful watching Paul Biya today disgrace himself yet again for the, I don't know how many times now, we've lost count. But when I watched the scene today, first of all, starting with the voice of the speaker, the voice of the Speaker of the House of Assembly reminded me of something borrowed from a horror movie. It reminded me of the kind of movies you see during Halloween here in the US, where there are ghosts and stuff like that roaming the place. It was so agonizing. It was something like coming from a ghost. Then came Paul Biya. First of all, Comrade Chris, I have to take you back to Paul Biya's appearances and disappearances from these events. You don't see Paul Biya walking up to the stage or to his seat. Everything that concerns Paul Biya's appearance and disappearance from a scene is well choreographed.
That's what I mentioned in the monologue, that CRTV made sure they shifted the cameras away when the judge was asking him to stand up and to raise his hand.
Yes, you don't see him walking up to the stage. You don't see him walking off the stage. You just see him there as if he's appeared like some kind of spirit,
like a ghost.
To where he is now standing or sitting. And after that, you don't see him walking away from it. Everything is so choreographed to present a false sense of normalcy, but you can clearly see that this man is not there. The man is not there. And Comrade Chris, let me just tell you this. If you want to know exactly what was happening in the room, all you needed was to read the faces of those that were in that room like a mirror, and you know exactly what's going on. You could see the horror in their eyes, their faces. It was like watching something horrible happening.
Very correct.
There was no joy in the eyes of those who were watching Paul Biya when those questions that his aide was asking, the interaction between Paul Biya and the aide. You can see the pain in the eyes of those who were watching. See, look at this guy. You could see the pain.
Voici venu.
They could not believe that they're actually seeing what they were seeing. That is all you needed to see. Despite the fact that the cameras had cut away this horror scene, this horror movie that was being put on live television, though they decided that we shouldn't see it all through. But it was just a horror movie from start to finish. So with regards to that, Comrade Chris and our viewers, I have to say this. There are three individuals and others around Paul Biya who are in a country of law where elders are protected from abuse. These people ought to be arrested and charged with elder abuse. I'm here referring to Ngongo. I'm referring to Shantabia, I'm referring to Atanji, and all of the other crooks around Pobia. These people should be arrested and charged with adult or elder abuse because Pobia is now being tormented. The man is being tortured. He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know what he is doing. He doesn't know, he cannot recognize the people around him. And yet, I don't know how they even manage to make him pronounce some of the words that he pronounces. But it is just as much as I don't feel sorry for him, but it is just so pathetic. It is pathetic and it is not fair to see someone of that age being pushed around and made to do things that he doesn't even know anything about. It is sad.
It is. Shay Tata, give us your thought. You are quite close to the point of the event. Give us your thought on what you see happening there in La République du Cameroon.
Thank you once more, Comrade Chris, for having me and saying hello to all the televiewers on ABS TV. I want to extend my greetings to Maitre and to Mike Fossey. And before I extend my thoughts, I want to also express my dissatisfaction to Mike Fossey. Something I have been having for the past, I think maybe 3 years since you led the IG, Comrade Chris. There was a program that Mike Fossey launched, which was a kind of a motivation program. I think I've forgotten the name of that program where they used to provide trophies in the war. Yeah, the war zone. But then he had a project where he would provide trophies to fighters that performed well in a month or something like that. Am I right?
Okay.
You remember he used the winner went home with about, I think, 1 million amber or something like that. And I think the expendables, the one, and then
it was bonus trophy.
What was it?
I think bonus trophy. I remember. Yeah. Fighters award bonus. Yeah.
I don't know if he has forgotten, but the point is, why I'm disappointed in him is that was the time we were trying to build up the Unity Warriors. And at the time, we became very strong and we started defeating all the battles where it came to the point we were winning these trophies. He stopped the program. So, by this, I'm telling the whole world to know that Mike Fossey owes the Unity Warriors at least 5 trophies, then we can make peace. Back to the event of today, I want to take my starting point, the premise from what Maitre said about being sorry for did he call them Anglophones elites or Southern Cameroon's elites? I think what I first saw, there were 2 things that I took from there, but there was one particular one that gave me belly bite. The first of all was the journalist, the English journalist, this guy called Ashu Nienti. If you listen to all his comments, they were only provocative comments. It was like out to challenge, and that is not what an inauguration is all about. He said all nasty things like, we already know him, we know the kind of things he says because he wants to get his money, he wants to get paid for all those things, singing praises, like adoring Biya, like a demigod or a god himself. But one thing, if you notice at the start of the event, when the Speaker of the National Assembly addressed, it was even the President himself, when he took the floor to give his inaugural speech, he read the names of all the leaders, the protocol, starting from the National Assembly, the Vice President, the Council. If you notice, you will see that the PM was left out. He didn't mention about the PM, who was sitting right there in front of him. And that is where I am saying that if Maitre is feeling sorry for the Southern Cameroonian elites that were there, or the so-called Anglophones, I feel disgusted. Because even at that, imagine an event like that, the only English word which you heard was the "I do so swear," which to me was like paid off. And that was like you heard Eric Chingy, or no, sorry, Tibo Nash in your previous program, where he said he is amazed at the fact that Chiroma speaks English. But even an event like this, sometimes somebody gives a summary in English. We are not saying because of Ambazonia, no, because of what Tibo Nash said, that there are some English speaking people in their country. But that is just to show you, sometimes these people, they divide the country and then claim to accuse other people for separating the country when they themselves have already done it. Now, looking at what happened after the event, because I don't want to repeat what the other speakers have already said, if you saw the event, that handful crowd that was available was only the one that was placed immediately after the conference call. And those were the CPDM people who came with their garments and so on. Normally, an event like this, CRTV will even show people on the street celebrating for a president that they all voted for. So you will know that this was just that handpicked, the few people that are staging, that are ruling that country, as Mike Fossey says, especially Ngongo, Atanga Inji, Shantai, and so on. So this is what I picked up. I picked up two things. The fact that the prime minister was sidelined, showing that he's not part of that country, they're only using him as a figurehead, and just what you already explained in your monologue, where Biya played the same game he played 3-4 years ago in Washington, D.C.
Matron, you come in there, future in there, give us what you think.
Shade 77, you are very, very, very correct in your analysis, Yes, I think I will need to contact you from behind the scenes so that we work on something. And then we have to remind Mr. Mike Fusi to rekindle that program again, because it was a very, very strong motivational incentive to the liberation fighters. So I think that is something we have to work upon. Yeah, like you said again, my fellow comrade Sheridan. Look, in that, if you look at the faces on all those people who sat in that hall, they were expecting anything could happen. Nobody was in their peaceful state of mind. Their faces could tell you that at any moment, maybe anything can happen with the Biya, or any disgraceful kind of step could happen. But I think Biya navigated along and successfully finished through the entire thing, except that he's like, say, all those time on that level. The rest, I think it was all a sham. A sham. And now, look, the days ahead are things that we want to know. What next now? That's the only question that I think, since we've said that, we'll come back to the Chiroma topic later on, Comrade Chris. I think that's where I would like to know exactly what the Chiroma team is thinking, because I think I can see some very big signs that we are going to be disappointed again, because we'll focus so much on Chiroma, expecting that he might do the miraculous thing. And I don't think I see it coming anyway soon. So for now, let's wait and see.
Yeah, of course, nobody can sit here and make promises of what Chiroma plans to do, other than words coming from him himself, that he stands ready to launch the fight. But let's delve into that right away. The expectations of people on the ground and even in the diaspora is to see him declare himself president, get inaugurated. Those are the expectations that people expect from him. And again, as I said, I spoke with him. I spoke with Chiroma directly before coming live this evening. We had a chat for like 3 minutes before I came live, and I asked him about his security asked him about the expectations that people have out here for his swearing in. And he said they are putting the logistics together. They are putting all the logistics together. That was what came out from his own mouth directly to me, probably about an hour or 2 hours ago. To me, I understand putting the logistics together means trying to figure out what happens then if he should be sworn in as president. So I think to me it makes sense, but that is not to say that is what it is all about. I would like to hear from you guys what you think these logistics could be and what it means. Mike Fusi, I'll start from you.
Well, I think top on the list of what the expectations or logistics that he is talking about should be, top on the list is his security. They have to make sure that wherever this event will take place is properly secured, because they know La Republic will put everything in place to make sure that they can zoom in and make as big a catch as they can. If they can round up everyone at that event, that would be something for them to brag about. And as I've said before, the worst thing Chiroma can do at this time is to allow himself to be taken in by Cameroon. That will be the end of it, because they will want to portray him in the most humiliating situation, just to bring his image down and discourage his followers. So top on the list is his security. Secondly, they have to make sure that they capture the event in a manner that portrays some authority, that portrays someone in command, and make sure that they now have the means to disseminate whatever images will come out of such a ceremony. But I would have thought that Chiroma would have taken some time to do this, plan this much sooner than now. But I know he's walking through some very difficult situations where maybe some plans are being shifted at the last minute due to information coming in about maybe previous environments being compromised. But all in all, the swearing in is just one thing. My take is this: besides the swearing in, one thing that Chiroma, if he had not done already, should be doing is putting in place a system that will allow himself to defend his victory. He must be able to defend his victory. I'm not talking by just diplomacy. I'm talking here, what is important here is having some backbone in the terms of a military backing that can guarantee him being able to defend his victory. Because let's be clear about this. These people who have taken hold of Yaoundé are not going to simply walk away because Chiroma was sworn in as president of La Republic of Cameroon. That's not going to happen. These people will have to be compelled to leave. It is not going to happen because some diplomat wrote some letter and said, oh, we now recognize Chiroma. It's not going to happen. These people will have to be chased out of there. And the only way to do it is by some military might. Chiroma, if he does not have that, let me say it here, if he doesn't have that, he should stop bothering people, because nothing will happen. If he has not taken the time to put in place his own mechanism, military mechanism to defend his victory, he should stop making noise and leave people alone. That's what I have to say here. So that is what I have to say as far as the swearing in is concerned. It is just a ceremony, but there's a lot more he needs to do if he wants to be president of La Republic of Cameroon.
Comrade Tata, do you understand that a lot of logistics needed to put in place for somebody, I don't know whether you can hear me. Okay.
5 on 5.
A lot of work needed, a lot of planning needed to put in place for somebody who wants to declare himself president of a country. Of course, we know the population is on his side, but the army is not on his side. We can say the army is divided, and so you expect that if anything happens, the only thing the army on his side can do is to maybe protect him and advise him. That entails doing a lot of work before going out to declare yourself or swear in yourself. But the tension on the ground, not hearing from him after the ghost towns that took place Monday through yesterday, I think people, if he doesn't come out and speak immediately, it may turn people off, isn't it?
Thank you, Comrade Chris, and it's a beautiful question. And the issue of turning people off is it's a common phenomenon with the francophones. I'm sorry to put them in this box, because you see that when it comes to resistance, they don't have it. We have seen that in '92, we have seen that in 2008, and we have even seen in situations where they had all the opportunities to act and they didn't. Now, one thing I want to say is that what I've learned about Cameroon is that there is nothing as rumor in Cameroon. Once you hear something out there, know that they are working on it. And it's either usually sent out to test the temperatures. Now, on the ground, people are beginning to wonder if, this is just food for thought also for the Chiroma team. People should begin to think whether there is really anything as a loyal military, because the mafia that we know about Cameroon, these loyal military that may be claiming to protect Chiroma, might be also there to keep Chiroma to buy time for them to get what they want to get. I'm saying this because when you look at the world's politics, Major talked about Western interest. Western interest plays a very major role, very vital role when it comes to exploiting your resources. And the interest of France, as we have always said, that all the French colonies, France is not ready to get rid of them yet. Especially a country like France, like Cameroon, where they have its food kept there forever. People are of the opinion that France will try to convince America not to interfere in this because of their interests. And as such, France will be able to also defend the American interest elsewhere. Now, people are doubting. There are questions. People are saying that could it not have been a game, some kind of mafia, to have played a game that they wanted to arrest Chiroma and then help take him out of the scene for a while in order to reduce tension. Now we get news of the fact that he was flown in an helicopter with a country that has a military. How does Chiroma even get out of the country with all the borders and everything, and then in at the same time without any confrontation? This is just looking at it from the other side. And it's making people to begin to think that this must have been a calculated plan to send some military to claim that they are loyal to Chiroma and be moving with him up and down so that he can be distracted and think more also about his security, which is more important, as we are saying, while the real game is going on. Because La Republique knows that for so many years, the way you can get to the civilians is by just buying time. And once you buy time and people start getting tired of what they are supposed to do, they take over. And before you notice, another 7 years is there. So this is something that I am trying to let people think, and that is why it is important to strike the iron while it is still hot. It is true that they didn't plan for this, but the population is on their side. The Chiroma team, they need to take advantage. I think even if they need to get, if it means finance, this is the moment people are willing with companies to contribute to make sure that the Biya regime gets out. The last thing I want to say before I hand over the floor will be, you also mentioned about part of the reception that took place. Today, the American ambassador sent some congratulatory message, which we read as the United Nations congratulates President Paul Biya on the inauguration. We look forward to continuing our strong partnership with Cameroon to advance shared goals such as regional peace and security and prosperity for both our peoples. If you see, if you read between the lines, you will see that they have not congratulated Biya on the elections win. They have only congratulated him on the inauguration. This statement is pregnant in meaning. Over.
All right, gentlemen. All right, gentlemen. Please, you hold on out there. I have with me Eric Chinje on the line, and Eric Chinje is with Isa Chiroma as I speak. They are together. Eric, there is a lot of tension on the ground. People are waiting patiently, very patiently, to hear from Isa Chiroma. You know, he declared a 3-day ghost town. It ended yesterday, and Biya was sworn in today. And Cameroonians are saying, where is Isa Chiroma? What is going on? Can you explain what is going on that you can behind the scenes, please?
Chris, I hope you can hear me. But I want to reassure you and reassure everyone in that geographical space that, I don't know if you can hear me, Chris.
Yes, I can hear you 515.
Fantastic. You know, I want to reassure everyone who is in this battle for the soul of a nation and a people that things may not always happen in human moments.
Okay.
But I can guarantee you the best is coming. I can guarantee you there is the right things are happening as they should. We are not, we cannot build a lie on a lie. We cannot go and have and claim to have a new nation built on the fragile foundations of a lie. That's what happened today in the Republic of Cameroon. A fragile foundation built on a lie is expected to be the source of inspiration for a new nation. It is not going to happen, Chris. So Mr. Chiroma will be coming out, and he will not be pushed into it. There's a lot of pressure for him to come out and take on the system now as it is, and to ensure that the people's victory is not stolen, and he, the elected leader, is the one who was sworn into office. Let me say this: all of that's not what matters right now. That is not what matters right now. What matters right now is the deliberate, the very intentional steps to allow for this, for the will of the people to be recognized, for a constitution that is meaningful, is respected, and that time will be taken to put in place institutions that are honorable, credible, respected. All of Cameroon, we have to rethink Cameroon, and that really is the problem. We have to rethink that country. And part of what you're seeing is the need for new thoughts, to inspire what we do in building the new nation. I think everybody, if all goes well, we all will be proud of what comes out of all of this. But if we want to force things through, we may see change, but it may not just be the change we desire. So Mr. Chiroma is in a good place. He's working with top-notch experts in every field, in all fields. He's in touch with, African and non-African heads of state, and drawing from the experience of a host of countries. And I think what will come out of this will be what every citizen desires. So let me simply say that, invite everyone to stand up and be counted at a time like this. That's what's important. Chris, I don't know if you heard all of what I said, but
yeah. As you know, there is lots of impatience out there, being that they haven't heard from him, especially when he was reportedly picked up. And then now Biya is sworn in. When you say things are going to change, how soon are these things going to happen? I guess that's what everybody wants to know out there.
Yes, I know everybody's impatient, but that's understandable. But let me tell you, Chris, wheat set cut. Sorry, Chris. There's an issue with my room.
Okay, I can hear you. Go.
And there's a problem. I need to resolve it and then go and have something to eat. Can I call you in a short while?
All right, that's fine. That is assuming you meet us live. All right, but please go ahead. Take care of what you.
Yes, in half an hour I'll call you, Chris.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, unfortunately, he's a little bit distracted, but you can hear from him again. He is right there with Isa Chiroma himself, and so what you hear from him is first class.
Comrade Chris, if I may come in
My
here,
concern is I hear kind of a parabolic narrative. I do not see straight shooting in what I am hearing. Maybe you guys are hearing straight shooting. Let me go to Metro and come. Tell me what you think from what you've heard from Eric Chinje.
Yeah. Yes, Comrade Chris, if you can read through the lines, you will hear my take from what Mr. Eric Chinje is saying. It's clearly that Isa Chiroma is not going to be sworn in. He's going to take some other measures and to counter the regime in some other forms. But what baffles me is this. I think to my fellow Ambazonians, those who've been expecting so much from Chiroma, I think we should drop the potato now, because nothing will be coming the way we are expecting. As simple as that. One, Chiroma claimed that he's an insider. He knows the regime in and out. And he wants to take, I don't know which strategy he has intended to use in fighting the dictator. And when we talk about logistics, you think you have to prepare everything step by step to fighting a dictator? Fighting a dictator, you take him by surprise. The greatest surprise Chiroma could have taken on Biya was first thing, early morning. I thought maybe he wanted to get himself sworn in on the 6th, because maybe that's when the mandate of Biya expires, so that the new one starts from there. Else he could have sworn himself earlier. But now the 6th of November came and passed. He had even called off the ghost town. Biya is sworn in peacefully, or whatever the situation was within the ranks of the CPDM. And now he's recognized, receiving messages of congratulations from left and right. And Chiroma is still talking about logistics and making things, talking with international leaders. International leaders are going to defend their interests. Chiroma's momentum is dying, and is dying very, very fast. He had the population. He had people behind him. When we talk about, say, the army, let me come again to what my able comrade Shebetan mentioned, that loyalty of the army. Yes, there are some armies who are very loyal. And when you look within the Cameroonian army, those who originate from the Grand North, that is from Adamawa, Garwa, and Marwa, they can be loyal to somebody from that zone. And they are loyal to Chiroma because they know this is their time. And so many of them have even come on air to say they feel pity, or they look at this, our fellow citizens, that is Southern Cameroonian and Bazonian, who are in the military, shooting on their own people. They cannot shoot on, they promise not to shoot on their own people. You saw it yourself. When the military went out in their armored cars, people came around. They were talking friendly. But can you see that in Southern Cameroon? When they come, they shoot at random. So now I think we should just leave La Republique de Cameroon alone and Sachiroma. I think he's just playing for time. The next thing right now, what plan? He's going to start making speeches and calling people on the streets. And as brutal as La Republique de Cameroon's army or forces are, they'll kill people. And we still have some of our fellow Southern Cameroonians in La Republique de Cameroon. Recently, a woman from Menchumo was killed in her house, straight bullet in La Republique de Cameroon. So how far is that going to go? So this Chiromania kind of anticipation that almost every Ambazonan or they are looking forward to him, that is because he said, when I'm president, I'm going to release Seko and the Naira 10, we are going for negotiation dialogue, that is just hot talk. We wanted to see action from Mr. Chiroma, and if it is the first test, I think he has failed. That's all I can say for now. Come please.
Let me ask Mike and Tata, if Chiroma cannot be sworn in and they still believe they have an option to fight, do you see any option? What are those other options? Because I have heard these things about talking to the international communities, talking to heads of state there, talking to those organizations there. We heard that under Frundi. We heard that under Kamto. It didn't change anything, and Biya perpetuated himself till today. Do you guys, by any means, see anything different that he can do other than swearing himself to assert himself and stay in, and take over? Fosi.
Yes, Comrade Chris. I was not very impressed with what I was hearing from Eric Chinde there. It sounded to me like a watering down of expectations. You see, it is a watering down of expectations, and I can assure you that that is not good news to the Chiroma supporters out there. I can assure you there are many of them who will be very, very disappointed by the end of today if Chiroma is not sworn in. The day is already old in ground zero, first of all. Now, there is something that is said about riding the wave. When you have to ride a wave, you ride the wave when it is high. You don't wait for the wave to collapse, then you try to ride it, then you find yourself flat. You have to ride the wave when the wave is high. That is when you get some movement. That is when you are carried to a higher height. What the Chiroma campaign has resorted to will not serve them well. And if there's something that they are expecting or they are planning to bring later on, and with the expectation that it will yield some results, it better be something that will be a shock and awe. It must be something that will be a shock and awe that will reinvigorate the anticipation that their supporters had, which will be depleted to a large extent by the end of today. So I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. But I should say, if I were a Chiroma supporter, I will be very, very unhappy today. Let me say something about this so-called diplomatic community. If Chiroma is doing this, as I said before, if he's expecting that his victory will come with some intervention from the diplomatic community, he should better forget it, because it's not going to happen. These people, what they do is they wet their finger, put it up in the air, and see where it feels cold or where the wind is blowing. And that is where they go. Imagine the visuals today. As bad as the imagery may have been from Bobia's so-called swearing in, as bad as those images may have been, you can see one person with people around him with a diplomatic corps, as reluctant as they may have been, present, and with him raising his hand and putting on the Bible and saying, about how low his voice may have been, I do so swear. But on the other hand, there was somebody else who was not there doing that, and nobody knows what he is doing. Now, let me ask you, Comrade Chris, if those who were on the streets for the past days, from when the elections took place, or even prior to the elections and up to now, when they decide to go home, feeling maybe disappointed, what do you think will spur them to come out again on the streets? You better have some good reason to compel them to come out again, given the fact that many of them who came out, many of them have been arrested, a good number killed, some of them being pursued. You have to give these people a reason to come out on the streets. And that is what we have always said with these people across the Mongo, that they don't know how to resist. They don't know how to withstand difficulties. They don't know how to withstand hardship. They have not been through what we Ambassadors have been through for the past 9 years. And this was their moment to prove that they have it in their belly to fight for what they truly believe is the change that they very much need at this time. And we see them again falling flat. We see them again fumbling. We see them faltering and preferring comfort to freedom. And it is sad, it is sad. And let me take this a step further to us Amazonians. That is the more reason why we cannot sit here and expect that we can ever coexist with these people and see freedom. It will never happen. Because even when we lead the way, well, we're opening the path for them to then follow to freedom. They look at us and say, oh, but it's being led by the Anglophones, so we suspect them and we will not follow. Then it becomes difficult to even lead them to freedom. When we are opening the path and say, you just follow and let's go, they still are unwilling to follow. You cannot help, they say you can take a horse to stream, but you can't force it to drink. That's exactly what we are facing with these people. We cannot force them to drink if they don't want to drink. And so the only way for us is to let them be. And we go our way. Let them stay in their pigsty. We cannot help them to be clean if they choose to behave like pigs. Because I don't see how you can allow someone who is visibly confused, does not know where he is asking if he should stand up at his swearing ceremony. It's like somebody at his wedding does not know that that's his wedding day. Bobia, this was supposed to be Bobia's wedding day, and he doesn't even know he is a groom. How can you help someone like that? And there are people there who think this is normal, and they're not willing to do what is necessary to get this man to a retirement home. That is what Bobia needs now more than anything else, a retirement home. But who is going to take him there?
Let me ask you guys, I know, of course, you are not the right persons for an answer, but if Chiroma goes the way of Frundi, the way of Maurice Kamto, is there any other hope left for that country? Who is going to eject Biya and perhaps Frank Biya and whoever the CPDM puts there if Chiroma cannot do it? Because the people lose hope when they realize they rally behind this guy in so much belief in his ability to fight with his geographical advantage, and he withers away and talk peace. Like, will that dynasty ever be removed from Cameroon, and will Cameroonians ever vote again? John,
I
Tata.
don't see that happening. That will be the end of it. These people will, even after this regime, they will learn from this example and repeat it over and over and over. Continue, comrade.
I think anyway, we can't rule out everything. I think death is also another means of removing Biya from power. But you will notice that one of the reasons why they wanted Biya to stand as their president is because, first of all, Biya is a household name that everyone in La Republique panics when used. And that is why you see them ruling Cameroon through his name under the high instruction President Biya, hot instruction, or however they call it. And that is why they are using him to rule that country. And the plan is now, the plan which they have now is to buy time to see how they can manipulate the constitution and have that continuity, as you are saying. Now, I want to come back before I continue on it. When we listened to Eric, senior journalist Eric Chingi, I think also I was like, I think I was kind of broken. I saw despair, hopelessness. You know, I felt like he contradicted himself. I think the other day when he called in, I think, I don't remember if it was yesterday when he spoke with you, and you asked him this same question about the role and the links he's having with international communities and heads of states and so on. I remember the answer he gave you was that Cameroonians' problem should be solved by Cameroonians. And today he is contradicting himself. Instead of coming to face the Cameroonians to solve their problem, he is now thinking about talking with other heads of states and non-heads of states. For me, I find this contradictory because normally what our people expect, sorry, I'm saying our people, what the people of Cameroon expected today was they wanted to see Chiroma being sworn in this morning. And if that didn't happen, they wanted to see him sworn in after.
I don't see it happening anytime soon at this moment. I doubt whether it is going to happen.
If this didn't happen, these people should have at least been addressed. And this is what the people are missing. And I can tell you this is killing the momentum. If we already know about Francophones, those who have been arrested will serve as a lesson to anyone who will dare start to protest. Because this is the moment they needed to have acted. And if Eric is coming, Mr. Eric is coming and telling people that they cannot act the way people are and they can't strike the iron when it is still hot, I think they are getting into a riskier journey than what we have.
I see you smiling there, Metro. Go on.
Yeah. Shade 17. I just said it. You just said it like I did. Look, I said the momentum is dead. Is dead. Look, the moment that Chiroma could have climbed that ladder and made Cameroon, the Republic of Cameroon, tremble was between today, early morning, and the time they were swearing in for Biya. He failed. And let's take it step by step. The next thing that is going to that Republic Cameroon is going to implement now is intimidation, rampant arrest, torture, and then scaring of people. Let them back up, and moreover, Chiroma cannot even call for a ghost town again. Those how many days this guy could not survive? They don't even have food. Food skyrocketing out there in Yaoundé and Douala, and they are even blaming Ambazonians. So they are even blaming Ambazonian. The only thing that could come from the groundnut would be that onion or granite and all the kind of stuff there. Maybe Chiroma will be able to block that from coming down, so that but that is not enough to shake in the regime in Yaoundé. Even Chiroma could say, okay, let me come back to one question, like one point that my brother Mike Lucy said, the international community. International community has no interest in whether Cameroonian die or whether Southern Cameroonian die or Ambazonian die. They don't have interest. For how many years they have abandoned us shamelessly, but we have proved to them that we have that stamina and we've shaken that regime. Paul Biya cannot govern Southern Cameroon again, ever. Even when you listen through his speech today, he was even still spewing venom, thanking friendly countries for having arrested Ambazonians and locked them up, and is praying
Oh,
for
is that
more to
what he
be locked
said? I
up.
didn't hear that.
Come on, he said that he's thanking friendly countries for having arrested these terrorists who are creating havoc problem in his country, and is asking the rest to continue to do more. He was not. I was expecting that maybe Biya or his advisors must have heard that the momentum Chiroma has gathered right now is because Ambazonians are counting on him that he's going to deliver. Maybe he could have spoken some language of appeasement. Maybe, okay, the days ahead, I'm going to look into how I can release detainees or stuff like that. He went defiant, even describing Ambazonian fighters terrorists, and is going to ask friendly countries to arrest all some of that one still remaining, and is thanking those who are even locked up. And that is what I look at the speech again. But the thing here is this, Comrade Chris, go up, calm down. The only thing I will say here is that we should not count on any miracle coming from Chiroma. Please, I mean, Southern Cameroonian ambassador, we should not count on any miracle coming from Chiroma, because Chiroma has failed already. And then, yes, we tolerated him, not that we like him. We just tolerated him because he came and said this, that I'm going to do this. We didn't like it. Chiroma, look, thanks to Ambazonian, Chiroma and Bello have freedom. You see, they have never been thankful to Southern Cameroon for their freedom, but they only came in when they saw that there would be an opportunity for them to cash. We might be speaking now. Do you know how much Chiroma might have been backed from the regime? Bello Buba already has backed 1 billion with the Kabbalah Libya and all the other Joshua or stuff like that. So we can be speaking here like this, diplomacy behind. They will tell Chiroma, listen, you are 80 something years old, you are sick, you are going to die very soon. Why engage yourself in some fight that can even strain you up? Take this amount of money and keep them cool, and then yeah, we'll sort it out with their entire cabinet and stuff like that. Chiroma will cool down. That's it. So for now, we should not expect anything from Chiroma. Let's only reinforce our strategy. Each and every one of us, the committed ambassadors who have been doing it, keep doing what you've been doing, thanking our people, mobilizing ourselves, and then looking forward on how we will completely chase these criminals, terrorists out of our homeland and then rebuild. That's what I can only advise our people to do right now. I yield for now.
Yeah, talking about that, I think the moment has come for Ambazonia to remobilize, Ambazonians to remobilize. And in that respect, we are inviting every Ambazonian, especially in the diaspora. We have this brainstorming all Ambazonia town hall that is coming up on Saturday. We think that the moment in La République du Cameroon affords us the opportunity to strategize and to see how we can up our game in trying to restore our independence. Because as you are saying, you heard what Biya said. Biya is thanking the international partners for arresting Ambazonian freedom fighters. If Ambazonians do not take that really seriously and think that now things are going to be okay with Biya back there, I think that we are joking. Which is why this all Ambazonia diaspora town hall on Saturday becomes very, very important for every one of you out there. The leaders will not be speaking to you. I guess the leaders want to hear from you what you think should be their priority, their preoccupation at this moment. And I'd like Mike Fossey to speak to the necessity, the urgency of this meeting. Mike?
Yes, Comrade Chris. As you well recall, I think you are one of those that received a lot of calls from our comrades around the world. And they were looking at the situation in La Republic of Cameroon and asking, okay, but what are Ambazonians doing to ensure that we use this opportunity, this this fracture that we are seeing in La Republic Cameroon to secure our freedom once and for all. And then the idea, which again came from those that we're calling, is that we create a forum where Ambazonians could come in and brainstorm on the way forward, because it shouldn't seem as if they are being told what to do, or that they are being dictated to. Let the ideas come from the people. Let them read the tea leaves themselves as to what is happening in La República Cameroon. Because many times a lot of good ideas come from our people, ordinary people on the streets who see these things, and even those in leadership positions may not see them as clearly as they do. So it is with that in mind that we thought that we should put together this town hall, which is coming up this Saturday. The Zoom link, by the way, will be shared latest tomorrow, so it can be distributed to Ambazonians to come in and be part of this town hall. Share your ideas, share your suggestions. It will be a brainstorming session. That's what we call it, brainstorming. That means we listen, we get your ideas, and of course, we know that a lot of people want to come in and listen to what we're saying, but we'll keep everything general. No details, no sensitive matters will be discussed, but we want to know what ambassadors think. What direction should we be taking at this time? Especially making sure that we are speaking with one voice, that we are putting our resources together, that we are channeling our resources to those of our operatives on the ground who are doing the job that they are supposed to be doing. And to that, I'll go to my comrade, Shea, you are there. I know you have a grudge against me for the best fighters award that we had some time ago. By ending it, we ended it grudgingly because we were no longer able to raise the resources that were needed to meet those requirements. But it was not for lack of interest. It was not for lack of the will. But if there's enough excitement and interest from Ambazonians that they want to be part of it, you can rest assured that we would like to relaunch it at any time. And that is one of the things that we can discuss at Saturday's town hall. So please, I'm here using this opportunity to call on all Ambazonians. This town hall is not organized by any group. It's not organized by any person. It is not group affiliated. It is all Ambazonians. And the CRC, the consultative initiative that was launched some time ago, will be part of it, and a good number of the participants in there will be present, so that you see a broad-based representation of Ambazonians during this town hall, coordinating the activities and collecting these ideas from our Congress. Now, let me say this, Comrade Chris. As we have seen here, a lot of people had been hoping that Chiroma would be the one to maybe open the way for us to at least have some kind of dialogue. And we see that the regime in Yaoundé is so entrenched. They are so insensitive. They don't care about anybody. All they care about is their survival. They don't even care about their people. You saw the number of their citizens on the streets. They don't give a damn. Like I think it's Metro Nikon was saying, the next thing you will see in the coming days will be complete repression. There will be limited freedom of speech. They will make sure there's a complete crackdown on anyone, limit the number of persons that can gather at a given time. You will see it in the coming days. And La Republic Cameroon citizens, being what they are, a few of them would dare to come out and challenge these people. So this thing that Chiroma has done by not coming out today is a grave mistake. So what I'm saying is, we only have ourselves to use to liberate ourselves. Nobody will do it for us. No formerly oppressed people ever found their freedom by waiting for someone to come and do it for them. It doesn't happen. The people always have to rise up and demand their freedom and be determined and resolute. to stay the course until it is achieved. And ours will not be any different. If we want to do this thing, we have to do it ourselves. And that is why, again, we must attend this town hall and chart a way forward to take this thing to the finish line, to the finish line. Because as it's, even as the situation is in La Republic of Cameroon, it is not as stable as it was prior to the election. La Republic already has several cracks. Let us exploit those cracks to cause it to collapse, or at least to get ourselves to where we want to go. And that is what I have today to say, comrades.
All right. Gentlemen, stay put in there if you can. Let's get to the phones and hear what people are thinking out there, having listened to us and also listened to Eric Chinje from Chiroma's camp. Before you call, if you want me to pick your call, make sure you turn down the volume of your set. If you call and I pick your call and hear my voice in the background, I won't pick your call. So when you call, stay on your phone, listen to your phone and not your TV set. Please get the phone number on the screen. Okay. Let's get the phone numbers on the screen, please. All right. So the line is open. Go ahead. Okay, let's get to the first caller here. Hello.
Hello, good day, sir.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Mamfe.
From Mamfe? Okay, what is on your mind, sir?
Yeah, I've listened to all what people have been saying. Truma, actually the assessment has been very concrete and good. Because depending on who, we have no way forward. In the early hours of the day, so that even if they are blocking their...
I'm sorry, sir. Your network is not good. It is breaking a lot and we can't hear you. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Grazero, La Republic.
What is on your mind, sir? What is going on there?
Yes, there is a lot going on here. But there is something that I want to say here. And I have been saying this. It's just that people at times are just being selfish and naive. They don't want to hear from others. When you are doing a particular thing and it's not working, you change the line. I said here a few days ago that if this man is not sworn in, there will be a problem. And not the matter of being sworn in, that is the problem. He's also his word. People need his word. They need his word from people to hear from him. He's not doing that. He's watering down the appetite of the people. And even his man that came there now, that is not how they communicate. He's just telling us how they are planning very weak. The problem is this. We are passing around and we are hearing what people are communicating. Hello?
I'm hearing you. Go on.
Yes, and the people have a positive saying about the Isha Churuma, but he himself want to kill the appetite of the people by the action he poses. I said on that day, it is better for him to organize the ghost town when they are doing the inauguration than putting the ghost town. Now he organized the ghost town, the people obey. The people have obeyed it because they love him, they love what he wants to do. Now he has gone and hit himself without coming out, without dressing without doing what the people are asking him to do. And he wants to do his own. When the iron is up, you hit it.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. We got enough. Let's get to the next caller. All right. When you call, you have 30 seconds to make your point. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes, hello, Comrade Chris. I think we're having a very, very This is a big disappointment of what is happening in La Republique. You know, as Amazonians, we have a vested interest in what is happening over in that territory. They say justice delayed is justice denied, right?
Absolutely.
This man had I think he's losing the potential is fading off. Okay, and we heard that he was going to proclaim himself as he was going to what? He was going to declare himself as president today.
Yeah, he was sworn in.
And I don't know where he was going to be sworn in. Where did that information come from? Because that is what the Cameroonian people want him to do. When Eric Chinji comes here and say that he's not going to be forced by anyone, I think that's a fundamental mistake.
Well, that sends a signal as to the direction they are thinking, right?
Yeah, the strategy is, I don't see any strategy in there. I don't see any strategy. He himself said in his previous speech that when he contacted Nigeria and the other countries, they said nobody's going to do this for you. So,
all right.
I don't get the strategy. I just don't get the strategy behind the move.
Let's wait for the next few days and see what they come up with. So, thanks for the call.
All right, thank you.
Hello. Hello. All right. When you call, you have to stay on the phone. Hello.
Yeah, Secretary Chris. Good evening. Good evening. This is Baron from Germany.
Baron from Germany. Okay. What is on your mind, sir?
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everything that you have been doing and the panels that you have there. Also, I really appreciate everything that they have been doing. One thing that I think that I would like to contribute, I just want to make it very brief, is I think when we are dealing with a rogue regime like that of La Republique, we know that they have backup both externally and internally. So one really need to take a very, very, very great precaution. The matter there is not for, I think it would have been good if, let's say, Mr. Issa Chiroma was already inaugurated by yesterday or perhaps early this morning. But the matter, as you just said there also, the thing there is that, as you all just said there now, like that, what comes after the inauguration? Because I think that what Mr. Eric Chinja was saying is that they are trying to make a very good plans with working with some people internally in the government and also externally. So let's just wait, stay put, and let's see what is going to come out. That's all I have.
Yeah, the only mixed up that we have in his statement is when he says Chiroma will not be forced, to do certain things, as if to say he is essentially being forced to get sworn in. That is the mixed up there. But thanks for the call.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Where are you calling from, sir?
Yeah, I'm calling from Ohio.
All right. And what is your contribution?
Yeah, so pretty much my contribution to this is like I'm saying let's give some grace to Issa Chiroma Bakari, because it don't take 1 day. They say it didn't take 1 day to build Rome. So let's give him enough time to put his plans together and put all his eggs in together. So all these things take strategy. You can't just force it and then expect for him to go get sworn in today.
Yeah, but then the thing is, he has been sitting on this since October 12th. It's almost a month that he knew the results are rigged The question is, what was he planning since then, right?
Yes. But I'm saying, like, right now we on the what's the date of today? Today's the 6th. So I'm saying let's just give him some more time, you know?
Yeah. All right.
I believe this with time everything will come. Everything he's planning will come out to the world.
All right. Absolutely.
Understand what he's doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, Comrade Chris. Good evening.
Good evening. Is it ma'am or sir?
It's sir. I'm calling from Ground Zero, Santa, precisely.
Okay. And what is your contribution, sir?
Secretary Chris, I guess we should just drop this issue of La Republic of Cameroon and their politicians. These people are just bent to destroy the future of the young people of Cameroonians. Like what we just heard from Mr. Eric Chinji, they have given Cameroonians heartbreaking and frustration. The more, I guess we should just focus on our struggle, Amazonian issues. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the call. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Calling from where, sir?
Calling from Maryland, Sebastian Barrico.
Oh, Sebastian Barako. Okay, all right. What is your contribution,
Yes,
sir?
thanks. Everybody there. The panel is doing good. All the panelists are doing great. Especially my man, Mike. I have a concern. My concern is we need to be patient. I disagree with everybody that is saying Chiroma is failing. Remember, we are dealing with a dictator here. Inaugurating Chiroma is not the end. It's not all. After the inauguration, what next? Because once you are inaugurated, you need to start take action. And if you take action and these actions are not enforced, you become like a user, like you are nobody. So what I think Chiroma and the team they're trying to do is they want to put a system in place that after the inauguration, when he gives orders, these orders are executed. When they say they are putting logistics together, we don't know what logistics they are putting together. Maybe it's military logistics, maybe part of the ministers he's going to appoint, because once he's inaugurated, he is going to put up a cabinet. Why don't we think that some of the ministers he want to bring into his cabinet are ministers that are in the Republic government? And these ministers have to get a secure place before they are being announced. Why don't we think about things like that? Any changes, I don't think any changes is going to fall into something that is going to be a scam. So let's give them benefit of doubt, but let us be optimistic. Thank you. Thanks for the job you're doing. Thank you.
All right, we hear you. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Thank you for the call. Hello. Hello. Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from Yaoundé. I'm Divine calling from Yaoundé.
Okay, and what is your contribution and how is Yaoundé looking today?
Yaoundé was just called this afternoon because Mr. President was busy in the parliament. But everything is moving fine in Yaoundé, as I can see for now.
How did Ghost Town proceed in Yaoundé?
In Yaoundé, we only had some, the market were closed, but in some quarters, all shops were open. Only the main markets were closed in Yaoundé, the 3 days Ghost Town. That's what I observed in Yaoundé.
Okay.
The main markets were closed, yeah. For the main markets like Mokolo, Marché Central, those markets were closed for the 3 days. But the taxis and students went to school, all those, everything was okay. Everything was like okay, but it was not really okay.
So what is on your mind today, sir?
Secretary Chris, and Ambazonians, please listen to my voice as you used to say, Secretary Chris. Issa Chiroma is a federalist. He has openly told us that he is a federalist. That's clear. But we Ambazonians, we are people who need to push what we want in their throat. La Republic is a violent government. They never, when this crisis started, they never asked wanted to talk about federalism. Federalism was a taboo. Our flag was a taboo. That word Ambazonia was a taboo. Even to call what Ambazonia army was a taboo to them, but we had to force it through their necks. So what I was proposing is that the idea of Ambazonians having their ID card is the best. That will confuse them more because it will be a taboo, but at the end of the day, they will swallow the bitter pill.
All right. Thank you for the call. Thank you for the call. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, Secretary Chris.
Yes, ma'am. Where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from Finland.
From Finland. Okay. And what is on your mind?
Yeah, I hear people saying Shiruma is ignorant and this. I think we should give him a benefit of doubt. You know, now it's a very terrible moment in Cameroon. Like, he needs to strategize. He doesn't just need to make hasty decisions because people are telling him to be sworn in. I think he has to have a plan before doing that. So I don't think it's fair for us to come and judge him or that because we Cameroonians want change. But when he even talked about the ghost town, some people were not even ready to sacrifice to close their shops. When they say people should go to the street and march, we see very limited crowd. Like Cameroonians want change, but they don't want to fight for it. It's not easy to have change.
No, you are absolutely right. Absolutely right. In fact, I think myself, I was a bit disappointed at the ghost towns that I saw. Not as much as what you will find in Ambazonia. When we say ghost towns in Ambazonia, the place is shut down, the streets are empty. But I saw shops open in Douala, Yaoundé. I think the only place that really obeyed, respected it was Bafoussam, Bunda, Chang, and then the north. But Douala...
Yeah, because we say we want change in Cameroon. What are the Cameroonian people doing for the change? What are they doing? They need to also stand up and work hard and stop waiting for Shiruma.
But then, if you also look at it from this angle, Biya has been sworn in. Shiroma ordered for a ghost town. The ghost town was over yesterday. Biya sworn in today. Don't you expect that it is legitimate for people to expect him to come out and address them at least today?
Yeah, I've also been waiting for him to come out and address us. Like, I was also worried about that. But why don't we just think he has a plan and we trust him? We are the ones that choose him to like be the transitional president. Why don't we just wait and see what he's planning and stick with him? Because there's one thing I noticed with Cameroonians: they give up so easily. Yeah. They don't have a fighting spirit, just like same thing that is happening in Ambazonia.
No, I think Ambazonia has a fighting spirit for two.
Yeah, like that. That's why I'm proud to be an Ambazonian, because we've resisted for nine
years. For 2 cubes of sugar to have stayed undissolved for 9 years, that is true resistance.
That's true, Comrade Chris. But do you think these French-speaking people have that fighting
No, they don't.
I just saw it from the ghost town and the march.
Yes.
Like we saw what happened in Nepal, in Madagascar. Everybody came out. The youths were ready, but I don't know.
Well, the thing is that you know that when you talk of francophones, you are talking of the Bassas, the Bamilikis, and stuff. But then when you narrow it down, they're not ready to fight. Bassas don't fight for anything. They believe.
I don't know if they really want change, or I don't know what they want.
They believe they already have the infrastructure, right? Douala is there. The Bamili kids really don't want to fight because they don't want their businesses gone or touched. The only person
I just plead with us Cameroonians to give Issa Shiruma the benefit of doubt.
Yeah, you mean you Cameroonians? We are Ambazonians, you know that, right?
Yeah, Comrade Chris, when they are fighting over there, it's affecting us in Amazonia.
You are right. I agree with that. But
It's affecting us, so we cannot just sit quiet and say, "Yeah, we are Ambazonian and we don't care about that."
that is why we are talking.
It's affecting us.
That's why we are talking about it on a daily basis here. So thank you for the call.
Thank you, Comrade Chris.
All right. Okay, I will take one more call, and I will end the calls. Hello. All right. Hello.
Hello, Comrade Chris.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from Ground Zero, precisely Moyoka.
Moyoka, okay, and
I want to say something. I want to say something concerning this South Roma's issue. I'm talking in the perspective of God's plan for these people. I just gave you sending a note there. God is doing something that is beyond human comprehension. We don't understand what is happening. H.R. Kema would have been the rightful president before they speaking it out. You know, in Cameroon, when the chief is
are you trying to say that God told you something?
God showed me 4 years ago how Bishop was chased.
How did he show you?
In a dream.
Okay.
I'm a pastor.
Yeah. Okay, go on.
Showed me how he was chased and he narrowly escaped because they wanted to even kill him. Even his tribesmen were even following him to kill. But Anglophone, Christians helped him. So what I am seeing in my own eye, they have already not voted.
No, I don't want to be that pessimistic. I think the calls here are divided on giving him time to see what he does, and others saying he's supposed to have done something. I think I agree much more with those who say, let's give him a little time. Let's give him a little time to see what he comes up with. So listen, hold on. So when you come here saying that God told you or you saw it, I am totally in disagreement. Where were you 4 years ago? Why didn't you come up with that message?
I didn't want to talk anyhow.
And 4 years ago, he was not even in the limelight. You know that. 4 years ago, he wasn't in the limelight.
He was a man who started to say the Amazonians are terrorists.
Okay. Thank you for the call.
And now God has to punish.
Hello.
Good evening, Comrade Chris.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Nigeria.
50 seconds, sir. What is on your mind?
Yeah, I wanted to say that people should bear in mind that life is spiritual, and when people give in their own contribution concerning what is happening in the Republic, we should take it into consideration. These guys are not just fighting physical battle; they are fighting a spiritual battle. So we should bear in mind that people has to go the spiritual will. And then to talk about what people have been saying about swearing in, it's not only about swearing in. Issa Chiroma, it should be about weapons. It's not only about swearing in. They need to go physical. They need to go spiritual. They need to pick up arms. This government, the La Republic government, you cannot use
I think I lost that caller. Hello. I lost that caller. Hello. Hello. Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from? Can you raise your voice a bit, please?
Japan. From Japan.
From Japan. Okay, 50 seconds, sir. What is on your mind?
Yes, I think what is my mind is for those who are trying to blame Chiroma for now. The one thing we should remember, Chiroma is a Muslim. There are 3 people who have so far openly defeated Biya in the ballot box. One was Fundi, Kamto, and now Chiroma. Chiroma is a Muslim, and Fundi sold it for Biya, for his personal pocket, and Kamto and his people fear that their businesses were going to be crumbled. They say the back of Chiroma is a Muslim, and we know how Muslims are. One thing is that Chiroma uses Quran, and Sundi and Kamto, they go to church, they use the Bible. Quran, if what they believe in is that if you slap me, I'll slap you back. We should not only limit our thoughts and our thinking to, like trying to compare Chiroma and Sundi and Kamto. No, Chiroma is a Muslim. That's what we should take note of. Thank you.
Thank you for the call. Last caller here. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, you are the last caller, sir. What is on your mind and where are you calling from?
I'm Peter. I'm calling from Turkey.
Okay, what is on your mind, sir?
First of all, I just want to be glad that Chiroma is okay, and I strongly want to say, at this moment, let everyone just stand behind him and wait and see the actions, see the plans that he has in action. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Okay, gentlemen of the panel, I think the opinion is divided here in those on the side of Chiroma taking his time. I think they win the day. Am I wrong? You listen to all the calls.
If I may go first, Chris, maybe as also a conclusion. This is my assessment. As someone who has observed and practiced and participated in politics, observed the political situation in the entire Cameroon, this is my take. When it comes to Chiroma, Chiroma has failed. Simple, pure simple. The expectation that Chiroma was going to deliver, let's keep that aside.
Don't you think it's too early to? Don't you think that is an overstatement to say he has failed categorically? I mean, it's too early.
Let me come. Even if it is too early, prior to today's inauguration of Paul Biya, Chiroma could have issued a statement or sent out a broadcast challenging.
I totally agree.
Let me learn, Comrade Chris. Let me learn. When I come up with this assessment that Chiroma has failed, it is just it completely. One, the machine, the diplomatic machine behind Yaoundé stability is France. Do you think that France just signed an extension of 34 to 30 something more years to exploit the resources from La Republic of Cameroon or from the Cameroon? Do you think France is about to let go, taking that France is losing almost all of the CFA zone in Africa?
Does that matter? You think if Chiroma took over? Hold on there about France signing whatever to exploit Cameroon. Does that even matter? If Chiroma were to take over, you think he would take food out of the mouth of the French? They would do the same thing to him.
Let me learn now, Mr. Chris, Comrade Chris. The reason why France will do everything possible to deter Chiroma from taking office, because they are not about to let that go. Okay, do you know what must have transpired behind? French diplomatic offense is so poisonous, very, very deadly that they can do anything. So I'm taking a lot of things into consideration here. One, Chiroma's age. The question you ask yourself to understand that it has failed completely. Has he issued a statement since Biya's inauguration today? No. So what do we expect out of him again? That I'm coming to nail a strategy. I'm going to put I'm putting logistics in place. What sort of logistics are you putting in place? When people like Yaoundé is drinking from a large well, clean water, you don't have to go and block it. Go and dirty the water so that nobody drinks from it. That's how you cause chaos in Yaoundé. That is what Chiroma could have done as a step to telling Yaoundé that I'm coming and I'm coming big. So he did nothing, said nothing, and Yaoundé is sitting there tranquil. Like I said, the next move Yaoundé is going to take is going to be very aggressive now. I didn't look 2 days ago. Ferdinand Gongo bought an equipment to track members that are communicating with Chiroma. I mean to track. We hear it clean and clear. So the next thing is target arrest. Now they have even changed position. I mean, demoted some armies and even increased some their ranks, transfer some to areas that they don't even have guns again. So that is what is going. That is how the regime is going to operate. So when it comes to Chiroma, they are going to tell him, "Listen, pa, you know you are sick. You are 80 something years old. How long do you have to live? How much strength do you have to battle?" The other caller was saying that Chiroma is a Muslim. Muslim don't lie. But Chiroma lied. He escalated the war in southern Cameroon. As a result, people died. So when I say let's count Mr. Chiroma out, why should we be giving him hope to what? Give him time for what? I don't see it. Giving him time so that Amazonian just let their guards loose and then they strategize in the Republic of Cameroon. Biya is being bent on that. He's going after those in the diaspora who are sponsoring the war. And he's thankful to friendly nations that have arrested Ambazonian and locked them. Ayabacho is now in detention for more than 1 year. Has he been charged? Has he been indicted? No. Some are in the state the same. In Yaoundé behind in Kondengi, the Siseko team and so many, there are thousands of them there in detention. Have they been released? No. So the strategy Biya is going to come in right now is going to be very aggressive towards everybody. And
All
that's
right,
all I
let's
can say
get
for now. For
to
me,
let's
Chiroma
hear from
is out.
Mike Fusi, please.
Yes, Comrade Chris. I have listened to the comments from those who call in and some on the chat. Now, this is what I have to say. I would like to be very emphatic here. I would like to be very emphatic. And I would like to agree that, okay, let's give Chiroma some time. But whatever time Chiroma has is running fast. It's really, minutes are dying down to, hours are dying down to minutes. And he needs to do something not too long from now to restore the confidence of his followers. Because like I mentioned previously, you need to ride the wave when it's high. Now, but let me be very emphatic. Whatever Chiroma is planning, whatever he is planning, better include a military option. I want to be as emphatic as I can be. Whatever he is planning should better include a military option. If that is why he is taking his time to come out, then it will make sense. But if he has to take this time just to come out and make a statement without the means to enforce whatever he is saying, then this would have been a complete waste of time. I will agree with others that let's give him the time. But whatever he's planning better have some meaning and some backbone. Now, to the rest of the La République of Cameroon citizens, especially those who may become complacent, may think that, oh, it's time to just relax and go back to their normal affairs. Let me tell you this. If you thought the situation was bad before, be ready for the worst if Paul Biya should be maintained again as your president. If Paul Biya should be maintained again as your president, but I'm talking to La République of Cameroon because as for Ambazonians, we have already taken our destiny into our own hands and we are willing to shape it as it needs to be shaped. To La République of Cameroon, be prepared for the worst. If the clique that is currently in control of your country is allowed to stay, the days ahead will be more miserable for the La République of Cameroon citizens. That is a fact. Now, given Biya's advanced state of mental decay, this is one other thing that's going to happen. If Biya manages to hang on, he himself will not hang on for too long. In the days ahead, something will happen, and Biya will have to give up power. Either Ngongo will take over, Frank Biya will take over, or there may even be a military option within La Republic of Cameroon, apart from Chiroma, that may come in to assume power. These are the options that will emerge in the days ahead if Paul Biya should be maintained, or if Chiroma should fail to dislodge the bunch of vultures that have been sucking that country dry for so long. If Biya should hang on in the days ahead, Biya himself will no longer be the president. Somebody else will step in, somebody younger. And when that happens, a repeat of what Biya has done for the past 40-something years will start all over again. Because some will become complacent and will say, oh, after all, the person who just came in now is much younger. Let's give him a chance. And the cycle will start all over again. And for the next maybe 30 or 40 or who knows how long, they will continue to swallow in this misery. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this to us Ambazonians. I'm saying this to us Ambazonians to understand what the stakes are in La Republic of Cameroon if Chiroma fails to do the needful to dislodge these people. And that is the reason why we as Ambazonians must come back home and focus on what we started 9 years ago and make sure we get it finished. Because even if we should manage to hang on, La Republic will not be as cohesive as it was before. And that still gives us an opportunity and a reason, after all, because there will be no compromise coming on the part of the government that will hang on in La Republic of Cameroon towards us Ambazonians as regards any meaningful solution or negotiation that can resolve our grievances that we had from the start of this conflict. It will not happen. You listen to Pobia today. He was all combative and insultive as usual. There was no tone of outreach as to say he is trying to see how he can maybe appease those who have had grievances with him for all this time. There is no indication of that. So we must stand the course. We must come together and strategize on how to take our fight to the logical conclusion, which is the liberation of the Southern Cameroon and Ambazonian. So that is what I see in the days ahead. That is what I see. The situation looks bleak. Will Chiroma rise up to the occasion and do the needful? In the next few days, we are going to know. And time is running out, and it's running out really fast.
Okay, let's go last to Shay Tata. Your last thoughts on this line of conversation we are having, please.
Thank you again for another chance given me. I want to take us back to before the elections. There was an action that took place in a corner in Fako County. I think one of the most deadly attack that we had recently, where about I think 11 soldiers were killed. We remember that incident. If you look at how it was before the election, people didn't even share that attack as much as they shared the attack of yesterday. And I'm coming to it because this one, we had only 4 soldiers killed and 4 guns collected. And that one, we had about 11 and a lot of materials collected. Now, when you look at what happened at that time, before the elections, where people were still scared to talk, and compared to what happened yesterday, you will see even the number of French citizens that shared the attack of yesterday were even more than the Ambazonians. And even those who shared them, if you go and look at the comments, there was you could hardly find a negative comment. It was only, yes, kill them, do this. But before, they will call us terrorists. That's why Biya has to send more soldiers to go and kill these terrorists. But yesterday, because of the taste for that change that they need, They are even saying it is that same military that is dying for the old man, that is dying for Biya, that is going to kill civilians, and so on. What I'm trying to put across here is that when you look at that tension, that swift, that change, where people are yearning for change, and people were expecting part of that change, which is a process, to start today, and they didn't get it. They got disappointed. And we are not saying that, well, I wouldn't use the strong word that Chiroma has felt, like my colleague Maitre has said, but I will say that what we have been expecting, and it was the expectations of everyone, and Mr. Chingy was also on TV saying that this will happen, though he didn't say when, saying it's still not going to happen. It was actually what we are trying to let the people know is that people expected Chiroma to utter a word today. And the day is gone. I'm not sure he's going to issue another word this night. And that is why people are asking for time. But who was going to ask for time? It was Chiroma who was supposed to come to tell people, I am re-strategizing, I am strategizing, I am doing this, stay calm, I will be back. People will get assured, but people are now in a suspense. They don't even know what next. So when people say that we shouldn't say this, I think it's the right of the people to know what next to take. As a leader, he is there to lead, not to sit quiet and confuse the civilians. And that is my last word on it. I don't know if we're going to get another chance to say a thing. I want to keep it brief because I have
go on.
I have a short appeal which is not directly linked to Chiroma's case. That's why I want to know if we're going to get a minute. Okay, so I want to appeal on all Ambazonians, like the battles we've been fighting for long. I think especially, I'm not saying all diaspora, part of some diaspora people have really been divisive, and I am appealing to them to help unite these fighters on the ground than separate them, than divide them. There's a common phenomenon that is something that we keep doing all the time, that these fighters will struggle, they will go have an attack, they have a battle somewhere, and some are sitting in the diaspora and only stealing these battles and claiming them, writing these forces. I think the best thing we need to do is to stop this. We need to stop this and call it doesn't matter which fighters go out to fight. Call them if they are not your fighters and congratulate them. You are giving them low spirit. You are not helping them at all. And the last incident which we saw where the Unity Warriors went to Bamenda, carried a fight, and other people have been claiming who do not even know how it was planned. The fighters are really frustrated and they don't understand if we are actually, all of us are fighting for the same battle. We are all Ambazonians, and we say in my language, whoever catches is caught for everyone. So let us try to unite them more, try to unite ourselves, and we will get better results. The last thing I also want to appeal is I move around to almost all.
Yep.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Good. So the last appeal I would also want to make, apart from us taking care of our prisoners, is that we should not abandon our refugees. We know with the US aid that has been withdrawn, most NGOs that used to sometimes assist them, even with the UN, no one goes to see these people. They are suffering, they are dying every day, and I am really appealing on our people. Christmas time is coming. Let us look at the humanitarian aspects of the fighters as well, because they get injured, they need food, they need other things. But let us also not only think about war, it's about fighting weapons, buying weapons and sticks and granates for them, but let us think also about their welfare, the refugees, the prisoners, and the fighters as well. That's my last appeal that I want to make on the air. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to appeal to our people. Support your families back home. It's thanks to you, it's thanks to your support that they are sometimes able to survive due to lockdowns and all the challenges that they have.
All right, gentlemen, thank you for being part of the
Just,
show.
Comrade, let me just add let me just add a word on what Comrade Seventeen had just
Very
said.
briefly, we're out of time.
Yeah,
Go on,
very
please.
briefly. Yes, I really want to thank each and every one of us here tonight for sharing our ideas and then rekindling, faith into our people. So, yes, and Comrade Chris, so as you know, for almost 80 years today, almost bi-monthly, I have been supplying goods to our people down there. So I'm pleading, whatever you are doing, try to check on your people. Our people are really, really suffering. They need our assistance. I'm just joining my voice to that of Mr. Severin, so we can keep helping our people down there. Even our fighters, some are wounded, some are in hospital. They need treatment. Continue to do whatever you are doing. Don't forget about them. Give them courage. And I will say, Asawana, Asabwam.
A
Yes,
simile.
a simile. Shake
With
no
them
day.
day.
All my place day. Thank you very much. And chill boya. Good night.
All
Yeah.
right, thank you, gentlemen. Mike Fossey, Metro Nikonv, and Shay Tata. Thank you for being part of the show tonight. Okay,
Thank you.
ladies and gentlemen, I think we are going to end it here today. We're going to end it here today. But before I go, again, this meeting coming up on Saturday, the All Ambazonia Diaspora Town Hall on Saturday. We are inviting everyone, show up. Let's put our minds and our heads together to see what we can come up with going forward with what is going on in the La République du Cameroon and, of course, our own quest for freedom. Again, that is Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. The link for the Zoom will go out tomorrow. Again, the Zoom link will go out tomorrow. I look forward to seeing all of you there, and I can't fail to continue to appeal to all of you out there to please show up, help ABS, support ABS to stay on satellite. We're able to come to you and to all of Africa because of the little support that we are getting from some individuals, a few individuals out there. But they say many hands tie the bundle easier, and that is why today, and as I have done before, I am appealing to you. We have an ABS club. We call it ABS 100. ABS 100. 100 people who will commit to donating just $25 or more. $25 or more on a monthly basis to ABS for it to stay on satellite. Please, if you are out there, you want to belong, we are speaking especially to those in the diaspora, those who have access to PayPal, who have access to Zelle, to Cash App. Please send me a message on the number you find on your screen, and we will include you in that ABS 100. Very, very important. So once more, thank you for tuning in and being part of the show. I look forward to being back here tomorrow. Only through God's own grace. God bless you all, and good night. planning a convention for your cultural or development association this summer? Let the world see it live. ABS Africa TV will bring your story straight from the diaspora to your villages and towns, so your people back home can experience every dance, every speech, and every proud moment as it happens. With professional coverage, global broadcast reach, and real-time streaming, ABS TV turns your event into a celebration that transcends borders. Don't let your hard work go unseen. Put your convention on the map. For booking and inquiries, please email us at absafricatv@gmail.com. Again, absafricatv@gmail.com. Or for WhatsApp purposes, send us a text at the number 346-504-3666. ABS Africa TV. We are bridging culture and connecting generations.